welcome back to this week's episode. I'm Harley.
I'm Zuff.
And this is Gamified. And today we're talking about the recent announcements from BlizzCon that happened last weekend.
Yeah, but...
was it last weekend? Yeah.
When this comes out 2 weekends ago.
Yeah, 2 weekends ago.
And it's only Overwatch stuff because,
Well, we can... I mean, I've seen some of the stuff, but I don't know enough to actually give any, depth.
In-depth stuff, yeah. I know just, only the Overwatch stuff, which is, obvious. I'm
going to make a video of a culmination of all the times you say Overwatch in every episode.
That's going to take a while. I say it a lot.
I don't even care. I just want to see how many times it is.
Overwatch.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, so why don't we start with Overwatch?
Let's see. What do we obviously want to talk about?
I think we should start with the fact that you predicted
a few things
that actually got
announced.
So can you tell us what you predicted?
Well, I predicted that it would be a playthrough of characters during the war. Now, I got the wrong war.
Oh.
So I wanted the war from I wanted pre-war and then the big war that they had with the Omnics, the first war.
Yeah.
And then, afterwards. But what this Overwatch 2 is going to be is the new war with the new Omnic, bad guys, I guess you would want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
So still a playthrough through the war. It seems like also you'll be able to play, depending on which scenes in the war it is, different characters as well. And
I did like how there's going to be character specific playthrough areas where you are specifically using a character for their
and then you have a little bit of variation with your assistive
abilities.
characters.
Yeah.
So I'll do like that. There's okay. Shall we just kind of run through?
Well, I think what we should do is you should list what you predicted.
That's the main prediction.
And what was the? Because you did. So if you actually watch our storyline based games, I'm pretty sure he mentions this prediction back even then. So
maybe it might have been then. And then I said the PvP will be pretty much the same, I think, because we already have Overwatch, which is exactly what they did. They basically said Overwatch 2 players will be playing against Overwatch 1 players on Overwatch 2 servers. Overwatch 1 players will get all the new characters and maps only for PvP.
But they just won't have the ability to play the story mode.
Which is fair.
Which is fine, but I think that's a really smart move, but also integration of a past game that everybody loves.
Yeah, exactly.
That might not be able to afford to buy a second game at $100 a pop in Australia.
Yeah, and this is the thing, I'm treating Overwatch 2 effectively as an expansion.
Yes.
Because that's kind of obviously Jeff, he said it's a separate game.
Yeah,
right?
I'm actually interested how they're going to price this.
I think it will just be...
Do you reckon they'll price it as an expansion or will they price it as a standalone game?
They'll price it as a standalone game because there's at least 4 new maps, 3 of which I can remember is I think Rio de Janeiro.
There's a new push...
a push mode.
Mode, yeah.
So that's going to be interesting because it's a very it's just very... It's existed in other games before, but I've never really seen it played in the Overwatch thing. I watched some PvP of streamers playing that game mode, and it's super dynamic. It's always flowing. So I think it's a good change of pace.
Yes.
But at least 2 new characters.
Obviously a really good integration again of a new mode that is slightly different to everything that we've already experienced in Overwatch.
They're changing it up and they're keeping it fresh. And I'm really glad that they listen to the community and the fact of we want our progression to go through into that game because we've spent so much time playing this game and getting all the collectibles and the skins and all that kind of stuff.
I was very impressed when they explained that.
I was you didn't have to do it, but you did it.
Which is actually quite interesting because isn't Blizzard known for not listening
to? Well,
to?
it's apparently Jeff Kaplan himself really, really pushed to have it transfer through.
Perfect.
So
thank you very much, Jeff.
Yeah, Daddy Jeff, as people call him.
Daddy Jeff.
Yeah. So here's a basic rundown of what the changes and what Overwatch 2 is bringing in. So you get 4 new maps, one from Canada, one from Brazil. I think one
Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah, Rio de Janeiro, Toronto. So those two, Canada and Brazil. And then there's one from where Brigida and them are from.
Germany?
Yeah, I think it's from Sweden, I think.
Sweden?
Yeah, one of those two. And then there's a fourth one that I can't remember. We get 2 new characters.
I did see the look. I think are they both chicks or one?
Yeah, they're both chicks. One's,
there's a white one that looks quite interesting.
One's like an AI.
Is it Elo or
Echo?
Echo,
Yeah, so Echo's like an AI based kind of character from like.
She looks interesting. I'd really I'm wondering whether she would be a.
Should be a support.
Support, yeah.
100% should be a support. They're not bringing in any more DPS, I don't think. Actually, it's hard to say because Sojourn.
This new one.
The new one.
He looks she looks like a DPS.
She kind of does look like a DPS, and I didn't think they'd be bringing in another DPS because we already have like twice as many DPS.
But to me, she also kind of felt like a tank.
No, she's too agile to be a tank.
Okay.
So, it's just interesting
Clearly,
though because like I saw. Okay, the other thing that you get with Overwatch 2 in the story game mode at least is like upgradable abilities. So like Hanzo, if you send out a Seeker arrow, any enemies that get picked up by the Seeker arrow, the next shot will just like do damage to all of them. Like you'll like go through kind of like that guy from Guardians of the Galaxy who whistles and controls the arrow.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of one of those effects.
Nice.
So that's kind of like an interesting thing. Like Tracer has a chain reaction ability where you send her ultimate and then any like close any nearby enemies, once the first one goes off, they kind of all explode as well. You got like Reinhardt's like earth shatter thing. Instead of like kind of going in a directional line, it goes like an epicenter thing and goes out from there. And then like 2v1 gets like fucking flamethrower turrets.
Yes.
Like, so, and I even saw like Mei like has the like there's like you can pick up abilities during the story.
I have to say, watching the Paris trailer for Overwatch actually made me want to play Mei.
Oh yeah, dude! Like that was like that fucking intro.
But
so
also, I
feels.
have an issue with that trailer.
Okay, let's
the
talk about
the Winston bit where he didn't use.
He didn't use his shield, right? But
right?
you can just assume that maybe he didn't bring it with him for some reason. I don't know why.
Winston's going into battle. Why the fuck don't you have your equipment?
Why didn't he drop his shield? Like, I get that. Yeah, that was dumb. I don't understand why that didn't happen.
No. I think everyone in the internet,
it was
internet
like, yo, Winston, drop shield, bro.
But there's this meme going around. It made me laugh because, I mean, I'm not a huge Overwatch player, but I sent it to you and it was like, yo, Winston, do you mind changing to, what was the other one?
Reinhardt,
yeah.
Or Orisa, we need a shield.
Yeah. Can mind changing to Orisa? We need a shield.
And it's like, oof.
It was so good.
Yeah, we got double baited as well. In that, if you haven't watched that video, you have to watch that video of like the actual like trailer for Overwatch 2. But basically, we got double baited in terms of thinking Mei or Winston was gonna die. And then
I know,
and it's just like, oh, everyone's like, don't you kill Winston? I'm basically Winston in real life.
Yeah,
like, like I look like him, so I played him at first when he was my first tank.
And the only reason why you look like him is because you're super hairy.
I'm not hairy at all, but okay. It's not the glasses or the hair,
hairy.
Or like I'm obese. So
I was gonna go somewhere else, but I'm not
gonna. So. There was the double baiting of the
But as someone who doesn't enjoy that, I was like, I messaged you and I was like, Zuff, my feels, they're gone.
The feels are strong.
Yeah.
I was like,
they've taken my feels.
This is the thing, like Blizzard have just all of their cinematic trailers and all of their little like intros and stuff that they've made. They're just amazing cinematically. Like, they just know how to put together that storyline. And I think that's what Overwatch 2 is going to be really good because like that's their strongest point is like PvE stuff. So, they're going to do it right. And they're already doing it right with like the trailers and the backstory and the lore and all that kind of stuff.
But even for new players, like for me, I was like, oh, I could really like get invested and I can understand why people are so attracted to the lore. and have spent time like reading fan fiction or even reading the tidbits that have been released by Blizzard in terms of the backstory and everything like that.
I think there's like over an hour of just cinematic shorts.
So much, so much like depth in like their whole story and everything. So I could totally understand why you got like you big fans are so invested.
Yeah.
But as a new I'm not a new player, but as someone who sucks at the game, but is relatively new and like a novice player, it does sort of give hype to a new game that someone might be able to enjoy and get into knowing and learning the lore a bit further.
And the fact that like your experience transfers over and the PvP is going to be the same, it really does kind of like act as a mitigating factor for Smurfs in a way.
Yes.
Like you're going to get ranked really, like if you're a Smurf, you're going to get put into a rank really quickly that you're actually meant to be at. And you're not going to have people who are coming into the game fresh, coming against people who are like just so experienced in the game and they're going to be...
And getting owned,
Yeah, and then just not enjoying the game. That's like a big factor in it.
Yeah, but I also like that the PvE gives possible new players a chance to actually learn properly what their character can do in each character, and actually gives them more of a wide range of being able to choose what they want to play.
Yeah.
Rather than being told what to play and having no idea how the fucking mechanics of that, actually character work.
Yeah.
And
so it's like a lower pressure situation, like when you're not getting people yelling at you like, I need healing.
And like if you die, but you start again, and it just gives you that like muscle memory of how that character works. And
the only thing is you won't get the upgradable abilities in
PvP, but see, I'm quite interested because I've always wanted to play Lucio, but I'd be shit as Lucio because I don't understand how Lucio works.
He's a heavy support character, but he can also be like devastating.
Like I just don't know how the boops work, and I just like the word the boop boop.
What do you mean you don't know how the boops work?
I don't know how the boops work.
You press the boop button and it moves people a distance. That's all it does.
So it boops people.
It boops people. That's it.
Okay.
But what you have to use
it's the timing, I guess, for the boop.
It's timing, like, so you would use it against like a Reinhardt. If he's shielding hard, you go around the Reinhardt or like in front of him and you boop him up so that your Reinhardt can use Earth Shatter. So there's no shield on the ground blocking the Earth Shatter. So then there's that. The other thing is like when you have an edge map or a map with like, Ilios Well where there's like a death point in the middle.
Yeah.
So you can knock people off or into the well. That is when you would use Lucio. Like it's just like a quick get in, boop him, get out.
I mean, that's probably why a lot of people use him on Beijing. Is it Beijing as well?
It's
what's the nighttime one? And it's
Night Market. I think it is Night Market.
No.
It's not Beijing.
It's got like cherry blossoms and it looks very Asian.
Hanamura?
I think so. Where it's like you've got all the like open sort of edges, and I see a lot of Lucios boop them off the edges because you all come from a path and you come in towards.
Yeah, there's that, but there's also like Nepal, which is Sanctum. There's that one where it's like there's like the edge of there's like in the middle of a map there's a huge cavern. Anyways, that's what he's used for.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, he's basically that, and then also like if you have a SO character like an Orisa, you use the speed boost to make sure that she can keep up with the team and move around, or like a Reinhardt. And obviously just like the group heals is like you're trying to stay in the middle of all your team to keep them like ticking healing up as much as you can. Like if I'm playing on point as Lucio and I have like a Mercy or Moro who's not doing their job properly, I'll get gold heals. Like it's just because he's healing. Like you can heal 4 or 5 people at once, just like tick healing. Damage.
Yeah. So like those types of characters where I probably won't play now, but will have a chance to like fully understand a bit more in terms of how to play them in the situational sort of PvE area that they'll have.
Against like bots,
bots, like that'd be a really great training ground. Whereas that's what I always thought was a bit off with the Overwatch training ground, was it's just like...
Yeah, it's really like static, and it's just...
And they don't really move. They don't attack. Like they don't really attack you.
Yeah.
And it just didn't make for good training.
Yeah.
For someone like me who like wants to really like learn how to play the character, I want something attacking me so that I can actually like learn how to.
That's another thing that they brought in that's really good is like, I don't know if it's live yet on the most recent season. I have to check. But when you're waiting, you can do like deathmatch or like custom games and stuff while you're waiting because the role queue has increased, like wait times for a few characters. Or if you're stacking with people, it can take like 20 minutes to find a match sometimes. Yeah. So you might as well like just practice characters for fun and getting an understanding of them, while you're waiting for a match. Or if you're really wanting to focus on the character, you can play that character in the downtime and stay like mechanically fresh with them, So that's actually like a thing I think the community asked for and they brought it in as well.
See, I like that idea. I like that.
Also, like I want my gold guns to transfer over. I'm going to have to buy like...
I think when he meant like, I think absolutely everything will transfer over. Which I quite like because I'm now playing Overwatch on PC. So I kind of want...
It's easier to play on PC. Yeah. Than it is on
console. Yeah. I've like some characters I'm still a bit like, eh. Yeah. But, with practice, I'll definitely get there.
It's just, I also like the engine update. So like I'm hoping with the engine update and like the graphics update, it's like a balanced out. So the performance is still really good, but the quality of what you're getting is increased. Like the graphic quality is increased.
So would you say overall you're pretty happy with the announcement?
Yeah,
of
I'm getting
2?
Overwatch 2. Like as soon as I saw the cinematic and the announcements, I was just like, I'm getting it. Because you get like 4 new maps, 2 new characters, all your things to get transferred over. You get now like, obviously some of this stuff is going to Overwatch 1, but like while you're waiting, you can play games. The storyline thing is like, it's one of the few storyline games I'm going to play because it's Overwatch related, so that's like the big thing. And then I like the new push mode that you're going to get with it. I feel like I'm missing some of the key points, but yeah, I think they did really well by the existing community. Like they want to bring in obviously people who play storyline based games. I also want to bring people across who already like Overwatch, and they're not like excluding anyone.
And I've said this multiple times. I really love it when a game developer listens. Yeah, that's like my favorite thing because you're getting your bang for your buck. Like, and that's what it is. Gaming is extremely expensive hobby. Because there's constantly new content coming out. I think you're always paying like all of this money. We're updating consoles all the time.
You are. I'm not. I still have the same fucking console.
Have you seen all of your filming equipment, dude? That's a pretty expensive hobby.
That's got nothing to do with gaming.
Sort of.
Sort of.
No, but like I kind of like that. I'm more invested in Overwatch now because of all of these updates that you've been complaining about and lots of other people have been complaining about, but they're like, you know what? We're going to do right by you. Yeah. And I really respect that, which is why I'm quite in with, particularly with Borderlands. That's my thing is because they're constantly listening to the community. And I've seen like Randy Pitchford on Twitch in Twitch chat, like talking to some of the big streamers that they have going, how is it going? How does it feel? And these streamers are giving really hard feedback on a new game saying this needs to be fixed. You need to do a patch update for this or this needs to be sorted. And they listen and we've had like 7 or 8, 9 patches since the release of Borderlands of just hot fixes and things that just needed fine tuning.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like some things you can only know once it's gone live. Yeah. And it's been put through its ranks and its races.
So have you seen any of the other trailers for anything else?
No. Come on. What else am I going to watch?
True. I mean, today we just watched I just watched the new trailer for Wow. And I have to say, I'm kind of excited. So I think I'm going to go back to
playing WoW.
Playing like
Is it more like? Does it look like
retail?
More like WoW?
They call it retail WoW now.
Why is it called retail?
Because WoW Classic came out.
Okay.
And it's free.
So you have to buy. Okay.
So retail WoW is all of the expansions up until that one. So if you buy the new expansion, you have all of the games up until. Right. So that's why it's retail.
No, that makes sense, I guess. Like, but I heard rumors that Overwatch 1 was also going to become free to play. Don't know if that's going to happen or not. Like,
they might roll that out after like a year or two of Overwatch 2 being out, because either people are buying the new game,
or it'll be just heavily discounted,
or just be you'll probably just have like.
There's some people just not interested at all playing the PvE.
Yeah,
which is understandable. So there's no need to buy Overwatch 2, but I would.
Yeah,
I'm going to. Yeah. I'll probably just trade in my Overwatch 1 because I'm not going to need it. Well, I can't trade it in the PC one, but I can trade in my Xbox one.
Yeah.
But back to WoW.
Because in the trailer, it had the Lich King in, and that was like expansion 3 or 4. Don't quote me because I came in at Cataclysm, so. But they had the Lich King. Actually, he's going to be a skin for Sigma. Have you seen that?
I saw that. Like, it's like the icy kind of looking one. Okay. Yeah.
So he was like a main focal point. Like, that was the name of the expansion, the Lich King. And I believe it was expansion 3 of WoW. And then it came to Cataclysm, and my ex-partner got me into WoW, and I started from Cataclysm. But, like, the whole trailer is someone basically taking down the Lich King and removing his helmet.
Oh.
And it's opening up, like, this whole new realm and this whole new side of WoW. And I think, don't quote me because I just saw a 10-minute video and I'm not too much into it because I've only just been reintroduced back to WoW after Classic. But I think there's going to be like a whole new, like, we're going to see a whole new side of the WoW lore and everything.
And WoW lore is already pretty deep, isn't it?
You said there's like an hour plus cutscenes and stuff. Like, there's like fan fiction, there's like Blizzard stuff.
But there's also fan fiction and there's also comics for.
There's
Overwatch.
everything.
Oh yeah. In case you guys want like a little quick synopsis of like what's the current state of Overwatch and like, what we've got so far in terms of cinematic. Overwatch itself has actually launched a website where it has like the timeline of before the war, during the war, all that kind of stuff. So just like the main clips have been put on there. I'd watch it. It's also hits heavy on the feels.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and there's plenty of stuff on WoW on YouTube about the lore and people explaining the lore in really good detail as well. Just so you can understand, even if you don't want to watch anything, like you can have someone explain it to you and go, that actually makes perfect sense. But yeah, I'm kind of interested to have like there's new dynamic, new like raids and everything. It just feels a bit different. To me, fresh. It feels a bit more fresh.
Yeah.
I just felt the last couple of expansions have been quite repetitive, which is why I haven't played like.
Yeah, I think that's the
last 2 or 3.
Like, I guess with a game like WoW, it can like any game.
Like, I started at Cataclysm. I played right through until, and I can't remember the one after Mists of Pandaria. But I stopped after that. I was just like...
It's all the same.
But there was like... Things were getting changed and it just didn't feel like... The same?
Or you just didn't feel like...
It didn't feel to me fun to play WoW because it just didn't feel like WoW.
Yeah.
It just felt like it was so modded and you're just pressing a button and it's like you're not feeling the sweat of your brow and in the middle of like a
intense
raid.
Battle, yeah.
Whereas like... WoW Classic brought all that back where you're just like, fuck, and you're like tapping your keys and trying to like position and stuff like that. That to me is really fun and the proper grind of actually leveling up.
Yeah.
Whereas I found leveling up really getting easier and boring.
Yeah. You know what I'm excited about? Watching Tim the Tatman play Overwatch 2.
Dude, did you watch his reaction?
His reaction to it.
I watched his reaction to WoW and he's like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Overwatch. I'm gonna have this.
He's like, we're back. We're back to the.
We're back, boys.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, yeah, well done. Yeah, I think he'll be fun to watch. And I actually started watching him when he was playing Overwatch.
I started watching him when he started playing
Fortnite.
No, it was towards the end of Overwatch, and then he's like, "That's it, I'm quitting Overwatch. I've had enough." And then he started playing mixture of PUBG and Fortnite, because and then I started watching him consecutively. But I was going back to his old videos of Overwatch, and I'm like, no wonder the dude quit. Like, for a while,
toxic,
he was like, oh,
but he's a high level player too. Like I remember
he really grinded that game. Like, that's his game.
I think he started off in silver too or something.
Yeah, but he's been a Blizzard supporter since day dot. I mean, he's been a WoW
I think
player
it's interesting
for
that people are still trying to
years.
find an issue with like the most recent like Overwatch announcements stuff. Like people are like complaining about it. It's like, what more could you really want from the developers?
See,
like,
this is what I don't get. Like, developers are giving you what you want, and you're still trying to find
still having a whine
about it. Like, there's only so much everybody can do.
Yeah, and people are like, it should be free. It's like, I don't think you understand. Like, it takes a lot of time and money to like...
I mean, put it this way. Apex Legends, if it didn't do as well as it was doing, and if Fortnite wasn't losing its like traction as it was at that time, Apex Legends would not be here.
Well, here's the thing. There's free-to-play games, right?
Have to say, like...
People end up spending more on a free-to-play game than they would with a game where you get things straight away. Like,
see, if Overwatch was free-to-play, I'd just play Overwatch free-to-play and just have the basic skins.
Yeah.
Whereas Apex Legends, to me, is a game where I know I can play it and it's not overly strategic. I'm not going to get killed after 20 minutes of like...
Of looting.
You
mean like PUBG?
And just get like fucking headshot from like 255 meters away or like 472 meters away.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not going to like freak the fuck out every time I have to try and fucking build a thing to like... Whereas Apex, yes, you still have strategy, and yes, sometimes they still die within the first 5 to 2 minutes or whatever.
I had 15 minutes spare the other day. I got like 6 matches in.
Yeah. But like, it's faster. The controls aren't over the top.
Yeah.
It's pretty basic to like...
You just have to be like good aim, good positioning.
Yeah.
And get good loot.
Yeah. Yeah. And, I don't mind paying a bit extra for like other things that I would like for that game because I play it nonstop. But I just for some free-to-play games, like I just won't do that. And I just don't think every single game now, because Apex is so successful as a free-to-play game, that every game should be a fucking free-to-play game.
That model doesn't work for everything.
No.
It works well for like battle royales and stuff because I think it's
And the only
simpler.
reason why Apex Legends was a free-to-play game was because EA had not brought out a
battle royale
AAA game for ages that didn't suck.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what happened? They ended up going back to basics.
EA is known to be money hungry as well.
Yeah, and they went back to basics and they ended up producing like a phenomenal game.
Here's the thing. It's also one map at a time. It's, say 6 to 8 characters.
But they keep things fresh too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They put in a new character every now and then, but like the launching of the game, it's like you only have to develop one map. The movement's pretty basic. Each character has effectively the same things except some additional abilities. Yeah. And it's like 10 characters. It's not Overwatch, which has like 30 plus characters. It's got, 8 like maps per game.
Yeah.
And then you've got 3 or 4 game modes per map as well sometimes. Like, you can...
Overwatch or like Overwatch in general just won't work as a free-to-play game. No, it just won't. And I hate Overwatch sometimes with a passion. I'm saying sometimes now because I've started to like come back to it a bit.
Yeah.
But it just won't work the same way.
Yeah.
And I guarantee if it was free-to-play, y'all be complaining because...
Too many little kids would be playing it.
Yeah, too many little kids will be playing it, number one. And number two, now I have to pay for fucking loot boxes because the game's free.
Yeah, there's always something to complain about. But
seriously,
back to BlizzCon, which is the episode topic.
Yeah.
I do remember something about, is it Diablo that got announced as well?
Diablo 4. Yeah, I started watching it and I'm not a huge Diablo fan, so I'm not entirely sure.
I just know that I just thought I'd talk about it for like 2 seconds just to give those Diablo fans something.
Well, we should get someone on who plays Diablo.
Yeah.
And WoW, like high tier WoW players and Diablo players.
Like if you guys enjoy like an Overwatch specific episode where
or
we had
the Dota 2 specific episode.
Like if you want more of those, just like mention a game in the comments or, you know, hit us up on Instagram and we'll try to find someone who's like a decently high level player in those games so that, you know, we can get a bit more knowledgeable input for each game, because we kind of want to get like a high level Apex player on.
Yeah, we're looking at that too. But I also have a friend that might be interested in doing, he does video game racing on Gran Turismo and all that sort of stuff.
Ooh.
And he's like competitive.
It's
on the competitive scene and like he's like properly like doing it.
I was playing with a guy 2 days ago who's
so he might come on. But yeah.
Top 500 player in Overwatch I got to play with.
Nice.
And it was because he had like Smurf accounts, right?
Is it coming on?
I don't know. He lives in New Zealand, so unlikely.
Let's go over to New Zealand.
Made a trip for it. But I was talking to him about like, you know, what the differences are between like all the levels, and he had a really good breakdown of it. So maybe we'll try to set up like
we might do a Skype session or something, or even like a Zuff and him Skype session.
Or just like we'll be playing. Or we
I love how we're like content like brainstorming live
on the middle of the episode. Yeah. Sorry.
We did about an hour and a half of this before we got on here.
All right. So is there anything else in regards to BlizzCon that you want to talk about?
I just think overall, all of the games that were announced or like the updates and things that they're working forward towards like for 2020, I'm pretty
solid.
happy.
Yeah. Do you
like
think
this is probably the best BlizzCon
in a few years,
I have to say.
Do you think
there's like updates for, is it
Hearthstone?
Hearthstone, like the whole shebang, everything's getting.
Do you think the Blizzard boycott's going to have any effect on the sales of Overwatch 2?
To be honest, what Blizzard boycott?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Nothing happened, right?
Nothing happened, and I haven't heard much about it.
Well, that's the thing. We have very short memories when it comes to those types of things. So I think by the time Overwatch 2 comes out, no one's going to care. Like it's just, you know, there's bigger things to worry about. So yeah, I'm probably going to get Overwatch 2. And I'll actually end up playing that whole storyline through a few times.
Yeah. And that might be like something that I'll enjoy too, because we'll be able to play a story-based game together.
Oh yeah, and on our YouTube channel, we just like exclusively have now some gameplays going up slowly of Borderlands, and there'll be some Overwatch 2 stuff when that comes out. Just, you know, just to watch.
Just to watch,
yeah.
Just to keep things fresh and entertaining for you.
Yeah, also so we have an excuse to play games and put it up as YouTube content.
Because we're content creators.
Yeah. But I don't think
loosely
I have
saying
anything else
that
to talk on about the BlizzCon event.
So which of the two characters in Overwatch 2 are you, the new ones that are most appealing to you?
I think Echo. Only because, look, if you can fly around almost as free as you could in like the trailer, it'd be really interesting to have that dynamic a character. It would suck for anyone who's hit scan, because like Pharah's annoying enough to deal with sometimes if you're a hit scan, unless you're like decent. But someone who can fly around as fast as Echo and does like that kind of supportive damage, or like, you know, like closing off of other enemies, like it's kind of hard to see what her abilities will be at the moment, but
yeah,
it looks like she has like a suffocation kind of effect where she'll like put a thing on you and you just can't do anything for a second. So
yeah,
it'd be interesting to see how that comes into play. It just looks
I'm
different.
actually really excited to try and play her too. I think she'd be kind of cool.
I think Sojourn's just going to be like a combination of characters that we already have.
Yeah.
So it's going to be like, I kind of already know what's happening with that one, but like Echo looks interesting.
Yeah, it has like a new fresh sort of take on the characters.
Yeah, exactly. And then
on
like,
what's already available, really.
And I think I heard rumors of we're going to get at least a new character for every map that comes out.
Nice.
Yeah. So, yeah. that's all I've got to say. What about you?
That's all good. I do want to address that we didn't have an episode last week. We both needed a break a little bit. We were both getting a bit worn out, but we're back and we're ready to party.
Unless you say it like that. But yeah.
So that's why we put the Borderlands gameplays, but we want to try and do that a bit more regularly. We'll put up a whole social media thing about our break, but we are back and we're so excited to get some new content for you.
Alrighty, well, thanks for listening. This is Gamified. I'm Zuff.
I'm Harley.
And see you in the next one. Peace.
Hey guys, Harley here. Did you enjoy that video? Give us a like. If you loved it, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Our socials are linked in the description below, and we're also on Spotify and iTunes, so go and check us out over there. We'd like to know from you if you would like to hear about anything interesting or have any ideas for future podcasts. Drop us a comment and we'll get back to you on those. I'm Harley and this is Gamified. Game on.